What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. You also know I'm a Weeble preferred influencer, and that means the link I have for you is pretty incredible for this month only, April 2023. You click that link, open account, they'll give you free stock just for opening the account. But if you deposit $1, not only are they going to give you more free stocks, you are going to get a boost to your APY on the uninvested dollar up to 5.8%. If you've got money sitting in the bank right now, you're getting 0.33% if your bank's at the national average. Maybe a little higher, perhaps a little lower. I know my bank, in all fairness, is lower than 0.33. But Weeble has an incredible offer right now. Don't have to buy stock. As a matter of fact, it has to be uninvested funds. No account fees, no minimum balance, 5.8% on your uninvested money. You'd be crazy to not at least look into it, if not take advantage of it. Maximum Football. I wish they would do a little bit better job at letting us know what is new. So I went over to the website today, and I noticed a couple things have changed. So first of all, early access. They're saying that the information with early access is coming in the next couple weeks, which hopefully means by May we'll have some information. And then they answer the question that so many people have. Why is Maximum Football free to play and not a premium release? And I guess when we think about premium releases, we're thinking about AAA titles. We're thinking about games that have a price tag just to get them. And they go on to say the vision for Maximum Football has always been to deliver the ultimate football simulation sandbox. Now, by sandbox, they mean the availability of going in, customizing the game as you wish, and we've seen that with Doug Flutie's Maximum Football. Uniforms, logos, plays, all customizable. They go on to say that they sat down and they looked at how best to deliver that vision, and they determined that a model that allows them to build on the game over time alongside the community was the best way to do that. I mean, that's what you want to hear, at least me. That's what I want to hear from a game developer. Listen, we don't want your money. We want your trust. We don't want you to continue to pay us year in and year out. We want you to continue to play our game, give us the feedback to make it better. That way, when you do come down to those times where there's going to be microtransactions and you want to experience a little bit more in the game, you don't have a problem doing it. They go on to say, all platforms, free to play. PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Now, this is something, like I said, I don't recall being there before. But it's very critical to anyone that's gamed in the last 10 years. Will the game have loot boxes? No. Maximum Football will not include loot boxes or any kind of randomized premium content. Again, if you're a gamer, if you're a sports gamer, this is words that are just music to your ears, because we have been overwhelmed with loot box style games. We have been overtaken in our community by packs. There are channels that make content simply around team building and pack opening, which has nothing to do with, in most cases, actually sitting down and playing the game for extended periods of time. There's no one opening up Ultimate Team packs and then building franchise players with them. And that's what most people, at least that come to my channel, want. A simulation, franchise-based experience where any type of loot box or pay to play or pay to win or randomized card need not apply. So, to me, when I look at this, a lot of it follows the vision from what we saw with Maximum Football. It's just stepped up a little bit, because you went from literally one person in David Winter developing this game to now a whole team of people developing this game. From David going out and working with companies to promote and run social media, to a company that is seamlessly integrated into social media. And you would think that in doing this, you will ultimately see over time the game progress faster. I don't want to say progress better, because David was an incredible programmer. This was his game, and I'm sure to that extent he knows the coding of this game better than anyone that would work on it. That's just simple fact. And to be honest, that's a lot of the issue I think current games have. The people that program the core of these games, in some cases a decade or two ago, in most cases aren't working on the game anymore. That's what creates the make one change, undo 5 things happens. Fix one thing, break 2 other things occurs. That's really why a lot of current titles don't get any better. You have such legacy code that doesn't need to be changed because there's so much written on top of it, you can't fix things properly. When you have a game that's so basic, that's so young in its development cycle, like Maximum Football, you're kind of removing some of those obstacles just by the inherent nature of the coding is more than likely pretty clean from what I've seen. You don't have 6, 7, 8 developers in the course of 2 years writing code over code over code, probably doing it in kind of their own little way, right? The best way I've been told to define this is pretend that you're writing a book, right? You've got 10 friends and everyone's going to write a different chapter. You all have the same objective. You all want the same thing. But every single chapter is going to be a little different because everyone's going to write a little differently. Everyone's going to have a little different ideology. It might not get away from the subject, might not get away from the characters, might not get away from the plot. But there's going to be enough subtle changes that when you sit down to read the book, it's going to become disjointed. Well, the programming in these games is very much like that. You've had one person, Swami as a matter of fact, that's given a lot of ideas that have had been programmed by somebody that maybe didn't know how to execute the vision he had. And we've seen this. Clint Oldenburg, former NFL practice lineman, has all the football knowledge to get a game that will function. But the problem comes in, he can't get the programmers to execute the code to allow the game to run proper. So hopefully with Maximum Football, some of these things are going to be solved by just the nature of such a young title, only one person programming it for a majority of time, and now a large gaming company stepping in. As I said on my last video, communication is key, and I'm not going to sit here and say that these changes were made based on the feedback I gave, but if they were, fantastic. If they weren't, even better. Because the questions I had surrounding this game are the questions so many of you had surrounding this game, and to see some clarification on some big points, loot boxes, microtransactions, and why the game is free was refreshing and good to see. Because I know if they're willing to do that now, then hopefully they're willing to do that later. And communication is the one thing the community needs to make a better game. And I would offer that if communication can stay like this, Maximum Football is going to be in a great place to build toward a positive direction, not just in making a great game, but also making a great community to go along with it. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. You know I will be back in the week with more commentary.